5 years of Amazon merch are already over for our account, and it's time to look back one last time to 2024 and also give every one of you, no matter if already experienced or just starting, the most important learnings of 5 years in e-commerce on Amazon merch. Here you can see once the numbers we are talking about. So the last 5 years, 62,000 sales. And when you see here the graph, it was a steady uptrend over the years. And the learnings of it, I will tell you now. Also that nearly 50% of the net profit came alone from 2024. After 5 years, I can definitely say the Amazon merch model is so simple and so easy. You get an account, you upload your graphics, and then you sell them on products at the Amazon marketplace, and this is it. So from this side, a perfect model. And also the second point here, no cost. You can basically start without knowing and without investing anything. Of course, you could hire a designer, but you can also design yourself, especially with AI designs. It's very simple to bring your graphics to the Amazon marketplace and then write your listing, click on publish, and then you can basically sell anything. Of course, when you are in tier 10 or in tier 100, you have to do a little bit more, maybe by yourself, and of course maybe also advertise already a little bit, so you make this sales for the tier ups. But after all, it's really a very small investment to start on the Amazon marketplace. The third point is also a positive one. It's managed by your own, and with this I mean no matter if you're tier 10 or tier 100,000, you have different possibilities, of course, other possibilities, but you can basically invest the exact same time, and then your account is still managed, no matter how many designs you have online, no matter how big or how small you are. You can simply scale and then put in the time that you want, and of course also the resources. When you're in a very high tier, you probably have a designer, you maybe have a virtual assistant, of course you have a tool set that you use for optimizing your workflow. All this is of course possible, but this is nothing where you need 10 people. You know, in tier 100,000 for example, you can still manage everything by your own, and this is also a very big advantage. Now we come to 2 points that are not an advantage, they are a disadvantage. Also from my experience, you are dependent on Amazon. If they want to upload to different marketplaces or products, they will do. If they will upload to other color options, they will do. And maybe in the future with AI they will rework all the listings of your bestsellers, then they simply will do it. And if you work in an Amazon merch account, you have to accept it. Amazon is the boss at the end. Of course, you manage your own account, you can do what you want, but when Amazon decides something, for example throwing out the standard shirt, they won't do it. But if they do this tomorrow, you could do not much about it. So you are dependent here, that's a disadvantage. Also of course the arbitrary, I mean basically the same 2 points. So if something comes into the mind of the Amazon merch team, they will do it. You know, expanding to different marketplaces, then maybe your listing gets translated, and then maybe a trademark is triggered by a bot, and then your best-selling designs for 3 years is simply off the marketplace. This is possible because this is Amazon and they act like they want. But I also have to say here, usually of course Amazon wants the best for the products, for the marketplace, so they sell as much as possible. They are not here to fight against us as designers, you know, as Amazon merch users. So usually, even if it is sometimes a little weird what Amazon does, probably the idea is in the background that this is currently the best they can do for the whole system. So of course on this we can still rely that Amazon wants to have the whole merch program as successful as possible. The second thing I have on my list, and of course is also very important for an online business or a business in general, are the earnings. What can I earn? And the range is infinite. You can be in tier 10 and you can't sell a t-shirt for years and you have zero earnings. You can upload a design and it brings you thousands, when it's Christmas time, maybe $10,000s every month. Both of these cases are highly unlikely. It's probably very organic. So you're in tier 10, you maybe sell a t-shirt or two, you got tiered up, then you sell in tier 100 or 500 maybe a shirt a day, and then you start selling multiple shirts or products per day. And this is what I mean with organic growth. Usually in tier 1000 you will sell less than in tier 10,000, for example. So a very organic process because the possibilities of the different tiers. What is definitely possible, or first point I have to go first, of course, it's partially passive. And with this is, I mean that the marketplace in general is always moving, you know, and it's always changing. So what I mean is, if you stop today with your Amazon merch account and you just let it run completely passive, you will recognize nothing at the beginning in the earnings. You know, first month, maybe half a year, maybe also at the Christmas sales, you don't really realize it. You know, it will be the exact same even you don't put a single minute in your Amazon merch business. But when it comes to next January, for example, 2026, and we are currently in January 2025, then it is highly possible that your earnings are a little bit lower. How much lower, nobody can say, but usually a little bit lower. And this is what I mean with partially passive. Of course, the marketplace is changing. Other people uploading, updating listings, updating designs, updating advertising, and you simply do nothing. This is why the ranking will change, and maybe one seller you had last year is not there anymore, or is positioned now on side 2 or side 3 and is just purchased like 50% of 2024, for example. And this is a slight downtrend, I would say. So it's not stagnating, it's really a slight downtrend when you would do nothing. But you also have to say here, if you earn, for example, $5,000 a month, it will take years after year after year after year till it is down to like $1,000 per month, you know. So it will take a while, and you really can let it run passive. I mean, basically probably our account could be like passive now 10 years and we would still make a few $100s every month. So then the second point is also then connected with that. A normal salary is possible. Normal salary, of course, this is a wide range. Here can be basically anything is here possible. Also depends, of course, where you live. You know, in the Western world, I see Germany, I see the US, where I live, or in Germany I live, of course. Then I would say when you earn like $4,000, $5,000 or euros per month, people usually would say, yeah, it's a normal good salary you have here. And this is definitely possible with the merch program, and this is also not 10 years away. You know, when you are successful, when you know what you're doing, you can probably reach this in a few years. When you're really good, maybe also like in a year and a half or something like this. But it's always depends also on your goals. You know, if you want to make an extra income, few $100 a month, this is highly possible that you can reach this within the first 12 months. Other thing that has changed a little bit is the third point. It is advertising, and advertising was always good, and when you were good at advertising, you sold even more and you could scale up your account even faster. And advertising in 2025 is necessary. In smaller niches where you can maybe sell 10 shirts a week. It is still possible, of course, when you find one, to simply upload your designs and sell. But when you go into events, when you go in a little bit bigger niches, you always will need advertising. You can have the best design of the world, you have to sell it through advertising till it really ranks organically and then also sells organically. Of course, this is also something that has changed and something you have to keep in mind. Of course, it's always earnings and costs, and then you have at the end your revenue. And fourth point for the earnings is extra work is always worth it, I would say. It's connected to the first point where I said partially passive. If you work and you know what you're doing and you put in the extra hours for your advertising, for your designs, for your research, then it will show up in your statistics, in your graphs, on your bank account, of course, at the end of the day. So if you have, as always, a slight uptrend when you compare months, when you compare years, okay, you do something right. You are outperforming others and you are outperforming the general market. So you're in the top, I would say 50% then, at least 50%. And this is why extra work is always worth it. When you find new niches, when you find or try new products, and you ranked on page 3, and this year the advertising is better and you rank on page 1. You don't even have to be at the first position, and this is what I mean with the extra work is always worth it. And the fifth point is a little bit contrary, but I will explain why. Time for more. When you are successful in Amazon Merch, it's really just a very, very small step to go, for example, into Etsy or go into our own shop system or upload to other marketplaces, or maybe do something completely different, drop shipping or selling an item that has nothing to do with print on demand or merchandise in general. And all this is also possible with Amazon Merch. It's no full-time job business. You can really say, hey, I want to try 3 months for something else and I try now. Then you can put your efforts on Amazon down to a minimum, maybe check your ads once a week, and then you can concentrate on other things. And this is also really, really great, and this is why earnings is not just finance, from a finance side, not just money. Earnings are also the time that you can invest in something else. I mean, you can also go to a trip what others can't do because they can't take holidays at this time. And also this is a very, very big part here in the earnings, what Amazon Merch is there for, for us users. And we came now to the learnings, or I would say my principles, how I would act. First point, do it as long as possible. And with this is, ride the wave as long as you can. If Amazon Merch announces they are shutting down 31st of December 2027, I would change nothing at the beginning. I would still push like I did before, because everything you earn today, this is the great thing about our online business, you will also, or certainly probably, earn in the future. So this means if you make the advertising campaign in January and not in November, it could bring you thousands of extra dollars simply because you did it sooner than later. If you're already in another business, or if your merch account is relatively small, and it's more just a side hustle, don't let it down, just do the minimum then. Check the advertising, upload a few designs here and there, maybe do some research here and there. A few hours a week, or maybe also a few hours per month, are enough, to keep your business running. And maybe then you don't make $100 a month, maybe at the end of the year you make $150 a month, and then you have it in your pocket, and also your account has reached then a little bit of a bigger size. And this is always what you should keep in mind, and what I always would do. As long as I can, I will do Amazon Merch. Second point, organization is everything. Keep your workflow managed, keep your designs managed. Work out a plan. You don't have to, it does not have to be perfectly detailed from the beginning, but know how your designs are stored, know how you write your listings, know how you upload, know how you do your research. All of that should go into a workflow that is working for you. For example, flyingresearch.net, you can register for the free version. You have there a 2 GB free design management. This is enough for, I don't know, 500 designs. Put it there, organize it there. At the beginning you maybe think this is not necessary, but it will be necessary. For sure, I can tell you this, after 12 months, you will be thankful that you managed everything from day one onwards. And flyingresearch.net, I just can mention it again, you can manage your designs and you can manage your listings for free, first 2 GB, and this is where everything is at one place. Of course, you can also simply put it locally in some folder system and then manage it there, but keep managing your items or designs from day one onwards. Then deal with advertising. I mentioned this, it changed. You can't upload just 10 designs and then 2 will sell anyways. No, you need advertising, and this is now a skill you have to be successful to outperform the market, and this is, even if you don't like to, you should go into the advertising console. You should learn the most basic things and also have organized all your campaigns maybe in portfolios, and also when you check them, reducing bids or make bids a little bit higher. All of this should also go into a plan, and everything you learn there from advertising you can also always transform. It won't go away, the skill set. Maybe at some point you have a shop system and you want to advertise on Facebook or on Google, then of course it's a different system, but from the main standpoint, when it is about which keywords do I advertise and how do I place it and everything, all of this is already there, and this is why advertising is in 2025 also so important. Then the fourth point, deal with the market. Keep an eye on your designs, on your best-selling designs. Of course, when you have 50,000 designs, you can't manage them all. Simple example, Valentine's Day is coming up. You have a great seller in 2024 and then it is 2025. You have the same design, you have the same advertising, all the same in your account, but it just sells like 30%, of the time that it did a year ago. And this could have a very simple reason. For example, there were 5 competitors and one of the competitors reduced the price from the shirt from $17.99 to $40.99, and this is simply why people are not buying his shirt and yours just like 30% of the times, like I mentioned. And this is why you should always have an eye on the market, especially when it comes to the events, especially when it comes to your sellers. Have an eye, how are items priced? When you price at $22.99 and all the sellers are priced at $14.99, then it's obvious that of course your shirt is $8 higher, more expensive, and this is probably what is reducing the sales. Can also be an effective strategy because the margin is much higher, but could also lead that your design goes in to page, 4, 5, 6 and is not selling one single time. And this is always deal with the market, keep an eye on it, new competitors, how the pricing is, and then adjust it if necessary. And then the 5th point, it's related to the 2nd point, effective workflow and also backups. This is very, very important. Of course, I could praise and advertise here flying again. You can do your research, you can check your trademarks, you can manage your listings, your designs, you can upload automatically, and you can store all of this, and use it again. But of course, if you just started, it's obvious that you won't, or you should not buy the biggest package you can get, and if you don't earn $10 a month, it makes no sense to buy like a $150 package. And this is why an effective workflow is necessary, and you should always be there and at least know how you do things. You know, you can try different things, but after a few weeks you should have a structure. I do it like this, I design like this, I upload like this, etc. And then here the second point, backups. Don't let the marketplace itself be your backup. This is what I said in the first half of the video, that Amazon does what it wants, and for example it generates your listings again, and then you can do nothing about it because you simply never saved your listings anywhere else, you know. And it does not matter if it's the flying design management, does not matter if it's your local folder, does not matter if it's a Google Drive, whatever, but simply keep all your designs and at best also your listings in another secondary place where you can always access it. If for example Amazon really changes it, then you can simply change it back. Or if you go to a new marketplace, or you make Etsy for example with your shirts or with your designs, then you have your designs already ready, you have your listing ready, and then you can jump from one thing to the other. Very simple, instead of getting the designs, getting the listing, and hopefully everything is downloaded and hopefully everything is there. And these are the important learnings that you should keep in mind for your merch account. Thank you for watching today's video. If you have now any questions, then simply write it down in the comments, and I hope our learnings can help to improve your decisions in the future. If you like this video, then please hit the like button, and of course also subscribe to this channel. I see you in the next time. Till then.